All right, and we're live. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the live stream. Let me know if everything's okay, audio and visual. I think that there is a small audio problem today, so let's just try and diagnose that as quickly as possible if it does exist. But here we go. So another little move down in the market for Bitcoin. I want to break down for you. Oh, I'm not showing my screen. Hang on. I want to break down for you what I'm seeing on this chart, how Bitcoin could potentially be headed towards the very low 30k range. We're already in the low 30s now. We're at 33,000. Hopefully this doesn't come as too much of a surprise. I didn't actually get to say this to you guys in any recent analysis posts, but we did actually have a fairly clear drop down followed by a rising wedge pattern inside of the consolidation zone that we had identified on one of these live streams or videos, and then yeah, we've now basically continued it. We're also continuing it with volume, which is bad. So there's a lot of bad signs in this market right now. If you're wondering why I'm still wearing the jacket here in Dubai, it's a crypto winter, or actually it's not a crypto winter, so I should take it off. But you know, I think a lot of people are feeling that way, so why not add a little bit of extra flair? Seeing volume coming in on this drop is not good. I mean, this is further confirming the direction of the price movement. However, I'm not really that worried about it again, purely because RIP equity markets. Yeah, we got to take a look at the S&P 500 as well. My God, it is. Well, the market isn't open yet, actually. When does it open? It's going to open soon. It opens in 27 minutes. Oh shit! So we're going to be streaming during the equity open. That's going to be interesting. You know, there is a lot to talk about here. It's not looking good, obviously. We could actually potentially see a further drop down just during this live stream right now, so that would be quite interesting to take note of as we go along in this video right now in this live stream. Guys, before I carry on though, I want to bring something very, very important to your attention. We are right now running a massive 50% discount on VIP, and go ahead and read this post in your own time. Just pause the live stream here. But in short, I'm really pissed off at a lot of my friends, right? I mean, there are some amazing opportunities on the table right now, and most people just aren't taking them. You know, I can see this clearly because, you know, being a YouTuber with 123,000 subscribers, over 1,000 people in VIP, over 20,000 people in gold, I talk to traders. I know what's going on in the space, and I'm seeing these opportunities, and I'm seeing people who are just putting the hand up to them, refusing to take them. It's sad. It really is. So if you want to jump inside of VIP and take advantage of what's going on fully, then the only way to join is by following these steps on screen. It's 50% off right now, and this is not going to last long because we're losing money on this because Bitcoin is dropping and we price our stuff in Bitcoin. So they chose, because it wasn't my choice, the marketing guys behind my company chose to run it now, and I'll have a chat with them about it. But for now, follow these steps on screen if you want to take advantage of it. Again, I just want to highlight to you guys that yearly members, you get phone calls with me, so if you think that would be useful for you, bam, take advantage of it while you can at half price. Here's the thing though, with this chart, it's very, very nice predictable price action. You know, we had an area of relative interest in this range, kind of between 34,000 and 36,000. That's why I had outlined it for you guys on this chart right here. And we managed to actually, find a little bit of consolidation in this range before continuing down. And I was mentioning to you guys pretty clearly, those of you who are subscribed will know this, that, you know, we have little empty liquidity gaps in the chart, right? So here's one over here. Here's another one right here. Basically me saying that, look, I mean, there's not much trading that's taken place between these two green boxes, right? Usually the price zips all the way up and all the way down. I'm actually getting really tired of saying this because I say the same thing very, very often, but that's because it rings true. The thing I want you guys to keep in mind, right, is when you look at a wick like this, right, where the price drops all the way back down to the 30k level, because it's a wick, it also means that the price went all the way back up within the very same trading session. That's important because if we're moving that much within one trading session, all the way down and all the way up, that is a very clear demonstration of how little liquidity there is in this range, right? There really just isn't that much liquidity in this range available, and that's why we're seeing, you know, really quick moves down, really quick moves up. They're happening so quickly that we don't even end any trading sessions down there. And when we do end trading sessions down here, we end them at the support level. it makes total sense. And so that's why I think we're looking at something similar to this right now. Guys, with this S&P 500 open happening within about 24 minutes from now, we could see this thing gap down. Hopefully I remember to look at it when the time comes. We could see it gap down and drag Bitcoin even lower. But the thing is, and as you've hopefully gathered from looking at the title, and by the way, guys, smash up the likes as you're coming in on this live stream. I really do appreciate all of your support. If you've been finding these live streams, these videos lately useful, you want to see more of them, you want to show a little bit of support for it, I appreciate you all so much. Do me a favor, smash up the likes. Again, obviously, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and fix that too. Like I said, I think that if we do end up seeing, a little bit more blood, a little bit of a gap down on the S&P 500, that is probably going to quickly drag Bitcoin lower. One good sign that I'm seeing right here, though, is that because obviously Bitcoin is a 24/7 market, it trades on weekends as well. CME charts, for example, don't, and so we will actually have hopefully quite a nice gap from, I don't know, somewhere around over here, if I'm not mistaken, all the way down to where we are right now, meaning that, yeah, I mean, obviously we're probably going to fill that gap as we generally do with these patterns, and that actually leads me into the next point right here. Obviously this sell-off is pretty intense, right? I mean, we didn't really have, assuming this carries on down, and like I said, almost every time before, it did carry on down. That's why we're not surprised by this price action, right? I mean, we knew, I was saying this on the channel a lot, if we lose 40k, we're probably going down to 30k with, perhaps some brief stops around $35,000, $36,000, $37,000, but, nothing real that can stop Bitcoin from dropping all the way down to this level, in my opinion. And so if we do complete this price action, again, without seeing any real significant reversal or relief, the market will have dropped by effectively 30% within, I mean, just a couple of days. Well, not a couple of days, actually. I'm exaggerating that a lot, maybe about, just under 2 weeks. And so, still pretty quick in terms of the price drops that Bitcoin generally sees. And you guys have probably heard me talking about this here, where, when Bitcoin is dumping down pretty harshly, it generally only dumps by like 18 to 22%. And then it stops moving down, right? And so it makes total sense that the final dump is the biggest one. I want to cast your minds back to what happened in 2018, where when Bitcoin managed to drop below its $6,000 support area, which I will show you right here. Pardon me. When Bitcoin managed to drop below its $6,000 support area right here, it had a very, very quick drop down. It actually slowed down right at the very end, but initially it was extremely quick. Then we continued trading lower slowly, basically forming a rounding pattern, and then bam, we blew off. And again, you guys know the deal. If you were with me inside of VIP all the time, all the way back then, you will remember that I was trading the downside here and made 60% profit, and traded the upside here and made up to like 360, something stupid, something ridiculous in terms of percentage profit as well. Very, very interesting. There's a lot that I want to talk to you about with this price action right here, and how, I'm not going to tease it too much, but there is a big video I want to make about this price action right here, and I'm not going to talk about it in this video, so just make sure you subscribe. That is the video where I'm basically making my case that I don't think we're in a bear market right now. So if you do want to see that again, just do make sure that you have already hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss it. But moving back to the chart right here with all of these glorious opportunities, this is quite a large percentage range at the moment. I mean, from 34,000 down to where my support level begins, we're looking at about a 7% drop, which in and of itself is fairly large. Altcoin market, again, no surprises, getting hit really, really hard though. I was warning about this for a long time. You guys know the deal. I always say this. I mean, you've probably heard me saying this a million times, that, when conventional markets get hit, like the S&P 500, or in this case Bitcoin, generally we see other markets like altcoins getting hit even harder, because they're more risky. And so naturally, if you don't feel safe with the big ones, i.e. Bitcoin or the S&P 500, you're not going to feel safe with the small ones, i.e. individual stocks, or in this case altcoins. And so we're seeing big drops across the altcoin market right here. Bitcoin down by 8.5%, but Ethereum down by 15%, and Ethereum against Bitcoin down by 7%. So big drops here. Cardano down by 15%. I'm a little bit bitter about this because I had a trade open for Cardano where I made 30% profit, and again, that was shared inside of Fallfly's VIP. Guys, I just want to remind you once more, if you're just tuning in, there's a huge 50% discount running on VIP right now, and you're going to be getting all of the information on every trade that I enter. You're going to be getting tutorials on how I trade on margins, on leverage, which exchanges I use, tutorials on them, and so on, if you don't already know that stuff. So we can bring you up to speed. You know, not having the knowledge isn't something that can hold you back here, because we have amazing educational resources for you, so you'll get right up to speed very, very quickly. Detailed VIP video explanations, which basically break down my trades. There's a lot that you're getting. This isn't even the full list of benefits. So if you want to get access to the information and enjoy our 50% off time limited discount, again, just pause the live stream here, reach out on Telegram. My assistants are on right now, so you'll get a response as I'm filming this live stream. As I'm here with you guys, you can ask me questions and so on, and my assistants will get back to you and will enroll you in VIP right now. So if you're wondering what the prices are, all the benefits and so on, you can get all that information by following these quick steps. You'll get it in like less than 2 minutes, because everyone's online right now in my team. So here we are with Cardano, like I was saying, potentially dropping a little bit lower now. It had its support area around the $1 range, and we've now dropped below it once more, which is, of course, very, very bearish. This is not good to be seeing on the chart at all. We're losing support on the Bitcoin chart across the altcoin market as well. It's a bloodbath, right? And when these things get bad, altcoins get shat on really, really badly as well. Again, none of this is taken as by surprise. But the key thing that I just want to draw your guys' attention to right now, and to me this is super obvious, I don't even think I need to say it, but I'll say it anyway. You know, we do have support here. You know, this market has been dropping down continuously for a long time, and we haven't had a single reaction rally. Now, I know that everyone's saying that, and so, you know, that in itself is slightly concerning, but it's still true. I want to take a quick look at the Fear and Greed Index as well. I haven't actually refreshed this. Yesterday we were at 11, day before that we were at 13, and today we are at 13 again. So quite low in terms of being at this Fear and Greed Index. We don't generally spend long at these levels at all. This is now the longest Bitcoin has spent at such low levels in over a year. And I'm wondering, have we ever... Yeah, we've probably, yeah, we've been around these levels, yeah, March 2020. We're at March 2020 levels of fear right now. It's quite a lot. You know, the thing is that because we've had so much volatility to the downside, and it's all been happening, you know, without any real relief, you know, that volatility probably isn't going to come to an end anytime soon, in my opinion. And that, to me, I saw Don Alt on Twitter. You know, those of you who've been following me for a long time will know that I like to view his content occasionally. I don't really listen to him anymore, but he's still obviously a good analyst. And one of the key things that he was saying is, you know, we're probably going to see a huge 20% swing to the up or downside relatively soon, and it's going to look very, very obvious whichever one we get. Now, the thing is if everybody and then Nan wasn't already calling for a relief rally up, I would be very certain that we're going to get a relief rally up. But unfortunately, that's not the case, and I think a lot of people are really starting to expect that. And the thing is, you know, one of the things we need in sell-offs like this is capitulation. Capitulation is, I mean, that's what happened in, you know, 2018 when Bitcoin crashed below $6,000. I mean, we had crazy, crazy sell candles. I mean, let's just measure this in terms of, you know, I mean, one day Bitcoin dropped by 11% and it paused for about 5 days and then it dropped again by 15%. This was real capitulation. This was people giving up, telling fuck you to the market and leaving. That's what capitulation means. And then the other candle right here dropped by about 13%. And this is consecutive sell-offs. I mean, this is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. This is, you know, being tackled down to the floor and being kicked in the head while you're on the floor level of brutal. This is unfair. And so naturally, those of us who were able to sit through it and had balls of steel and hands of steel, diamond hands holding in the market, we were rewarded with this next rally up. So, you know, that's generally how it goes when we suffer things like this. Now, I don't actually think that we're going to be in any long-term bear market still. I mean, I might be wrong about that, and it would be a shame if I was. But and I'll, again, like I said, in the next video I make, I will cover that stuff very, very clearly for you guys and put it to rest once and for all. But the thing that I'm seeing here is, you know, we didn't quite get, you know, 15% sell-offs in a day. I guess we got something similar here. Actually, this was just 11%. We don't need it. We definitely don't need it. But the thing is if we do penetrate this area of support, which again I think is so unlikely, you know, it's a strong area of support. I mean, we've seen $10,000, $12,000 bounces coming off this level, minimum. minimum. You know, on this occasion right here, we got a huge bounce that actually took us up by about $35,000, $39,000, right? This is a very strong area of support. I would be surprised if we didn't get to exercise it as support. But if we didn't, there is no more support on this chart again. You know, when I talk about these low liquidity zones and how the market, I think, doesn't have any hope of finding support in certain areas, like here where we are right now, or like here where we were a few days ago, and I was warning you that we probably wouldn't have support. This gap is the same, and you guys already know the deal for why if you've been watching this channel for a while, if you've already been subscribed, but I'll break it down for you very quickly here. Quite simply, it's because we didn't manage to establish resistance on the way up. We more or less moved up in a straight line. There was some consolidation on the way up, but it was nothing meaningful. It was nothing super significant whatsoever, in my opinion. And so, yeah, naturally, I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to expect any support in this range. I'm hearing weird things like, you know, maybe we bottom out at $25,000 and so on. I mean, look, we could, absolutely, but really, I mean, I just feel like because there would be so much fear in the market if we drop down here, and there would be no technical reason to buy until we fall down to about $20,000, and then only the people trying to front run the market buying at, say, $21,000 just in case we don't get 20. I can't expect support until the low $20,000 range. I just can't. I'm not saying we're going to get there, though, honestly. I mean, even if we fell down to 20K, I would expect that that's going to take weeks at least. I mean, a very, very long time. I would not expect that that's going to happen anytime soon whatsoever. Can you just turn on the AC, please? Because I want to keep this jacket on for theatrics, but I'm boiling. And so I don't think that that we're gonna get down here anytime soon. Even if we do, if we eventually do, I think it's gonna take a really, really long time. And I think that's something important that I wanted to highlight to you guys. S&P 500, by the way, opening in 12 minutes, so smash up the likes if you're excited for me to cover that, because that is going to be very, very interesting. We got 1,400 people in here. Thank you all very much for tuning in. As usual, as you are coming in, please do me a favor and throw on a like on this live stream if you already know you're going to enjoy it. The more you guys engage with this live stream, the more viewers this is going to get, and naturally the longer I'll go on as well. If this is going very well. So thank you all to those of you who've already done this. Yeah, support down here I think is important. Let's talk about what happens if we get a bounce, because I've been saying we should be expecting a bounce long term. I mean short term even for quite a while. Not short term, I mean short term it was pretty clear we'd end up dropping down to 30, but you know, definitely getting some sort of bounce relatively soon. I think that if we did get a bounce, right, if we fell all the way down to this area and we got a bounce, this would be an area of resistance. You know, when we talk about a 20% bounce, if we get a 20% bounce from the bottom of this range and rally all the way up to 36,000, that's already a 19%, 20% move. This is a potential area of resistance. It would be very depressing if we only stopped there, but I think what's more likely, honestly speaking, is that we do go right to the top of the range. And the only reason I'm saying that is because there's so much volatility right now, which, you know, is probably going to show its way in the upside as well if we get it. You know, when we fell down here, I know this is a little bit unclear because it's the daily time frame. Let me just zoom in a touch closer so we can really start to see what was happening here in summer of last year when we were in the low $30,000 range. Yeah, I mean, see, when Bitcoin dumped down to this price level, I mean, it literally took like 4 hours to get back up to $40,000. In fact, I can zoom in even further. It was potentially even a little bit smaller than that in terms of time. And so I think it's very likely we get an extreme reaction. Now, the problem here was that unlike our current sell-off, this sell-off happened pretty quickly. You know, from $60,000 down to $30,000, right? So that 50% drop, let's just measure it. From here down to here, oh my, it took 9 days. That's generally what's more common for Bitcoin. It's generally, in my experience, more common that Bitcoin will have, you know, a pretty fast drop and then, you know, a pretty fast reaction rally, just because it's a very volatile asset. This is where Bitcoin behaved very differently this time, because if we measure it now and ask ourselves the very same question, from 9 days to drop by half, on this occasion, for Bitcoin to drop from finding resistance at 60K down to, I mean, potentially, let's say 30K happens in a few days. It's taking 67 days. From 9 days to 67 days. This is a very, very slow sell-off. And for that reason, that's the only reason I'm reluctant to say a bounce to 40K. It's because, like, yes, we are very volatile right now, but we're not as volatile as right here. I can do this in a few different ways to illustrate the same point. I mean, let's just zoom in again and take another look at this. Got 9 minutes left until that opens, so this is going to be very, very interesting. From this high at $46,000 down to the low at 30,000. Again, it took Bitcoin 1 day and 8 hours. If we look at the same $46,000 level, we don't actually have it, but we can say this area here, 44.5. It's the closest we have. 1 day and 4 hours later, we were 3% lower, right? Previously, we were like 35-40% lower within a day. If we look, just 7 days later, 1 week later, we're only down by 14%. We're still not even down at the $30,000 range, and we may or may not, we may not ever get there. I can't see the future, but obviously we're pretty close. If we do get there now, following this kind of price section, it's going to take 12 days compared to 1. This is a very, very slow sell-off, and I think that's what's making it so painful. It's, I think, easier to process these kind of things when it happens quickly, because that's what we expect with Bitcoin. But I think one of the things that people aren't really giving much thought to at the moment is that this market is maturing, guys. I think what a lot of people just don't pay attention to, either out of ignorance or not being willing, is that because the market has matured a lot, it needs bigger money to flow in and out. And naturally, that means the market is being tamed. I remember a long time ago, one of the famous bankers said, we're going to come in the Bitcoin market and we're going to tame the market. And obviously, everyone at the time laughed, because I think this happened like late 2017 when Bitcoin was rallying up to 20K for the first time. But it's happening now. Bitcoin has really changed in a lot of different ways in terms of how it behaves. One of the key ways that I actually was made aware of when I was watching a YouTube channel or something, I can't remember where I heard this, was that, whereas previously a lot of the selling pressure for Bitcoin that was consistent, a lot of the consistent selling pressure for Bitcoin was coming from miners, right? People who are mining Bitcoin in order to make money, and so to break even on their costs and, electricity, and make some money on the side. I mean, of their mining operation, they need to sell the Bitcoins that they earn. So that's one very constant selling pressure that was weighing on the market. We still have that in 2022, but a new element, an altogether completely new element that we didn't have before, is now there are bigger institutions that are selling their Bitcoins as well that they're making. They're making it off trading fees. They're making it off holding it. They're making it in a million different ways. And that is something which is also increasing the supply that floods the market, which naturally means that there could be, more selling pressure weighing on Bitcoin for the rest of its life, or at least for the moment right now, for the next months and years. So, this is a fundamental factor. People ask me, Sammy, why don't you consider fundamentals? I do. It's just that you can't talk about fundamentals more than once, because they don't change very quickly. You can discuss fundamentals a couple times and so on, but, really, they don't, it's not something that you can analyze too many times, in a short space of time. I mean, you need to give it a break, because the fundamentals don't change every day, but the technical charts do. So obviously, that's why I focus on being a technical trader. That's why I want to be making money through technical analysis, through analyzing the markets and kind of seeing what might happen through that, rather than fundamental analysis, because that just makes you an investor. And the thing is, as an investor will, certainly make money generally in the longer term, but they won't make money as quickly as a successful trader. So that to me is far more exciting. We've had a lot of killer results inside of VIP. I want to show you a couple of the best testimonials ever. This one is my personal favorite. This is actually a friend of mine, but he only became a friend after he joined VIP. I didn't even know him before. This person joined VIP with $30,000, and he became a millionaire 10 months after joining, which was very, very impressive. Here is a screenshot of it, and me inviting him on a yacht in Dubai. Very, very impressive results. Some beautiful profits across the board. This person making all of these gains inside of 48 hours. Very, very impressive. I don't actually have the new testimonials to share. I can probably pull up one right now. This is one that we got just the other day. I didn't actually bother to pull them up before stream, so that was a bit of a mistake, but take a look at this one. Very, very cool. This person had just recently joined VIP. As you can see, on the 18th of January, this person joined VIP as a quarterly member, and just within 4 days, mentioned that joining VIP was the smartest thing she had ever done. And I love this line. She mentioned, first of all, that her profits have already paid for the cost, which is very impressive. That's 4 days into a, what is this, a 90-day membership. 4 days in, already at break even. And this person mentioning, I'm a girl, but I have bigger balls than most of these pansy men. She is 100% correct, and that was a very, very funny testimonial to read. So if you want to jump inside, again, there is a 50% discount running right now. Take advantage of it while you can to find out how these people have been able to pay off the fee very, very quickly. This obviously doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. With the person who actually did it, who actually sent me this message, is in the comments today. So shout out to you. I don't want to say your name just for your own privacy, but yeah, because you will get harassed if if people know your name and you're a VIP member. But yeah, very, very cool. So if you do want to take advantage of that discount, then there you go. The steps to join are on screen right now. So let's bring us back to the charts. We're 2.5 minutes away from the S&P 500 open. If you guys are excited for what's going on right now, smash up the likes. This is very, very exciting. While you're waiting, go ahead, find out the steps to join 𝗓𝗡ly's VIP. By the time the S&P 500 market opens, you're already going to have all the information if you follow these 3 clicks right now. I'm very, very interested in seeing what's going to happen, especially if it gaps down. If the S&P 500 right now gaps down, by the way, if you don't know what gaps down means, that essentially means that, it was trading here. Let's move it on to the 1 hour time frame. It's 1 hour candle on Friday, closed at 4,397. If it opens anywhere below 4,397, it will have gapped lower, which means that there was so much aggressive selling pressure that's coming in right now or over the weekend built up, that it would be pretty nasty. It would be pretty nasty. And actually, by the way, for the max level degens, they actually have a 1 second chart right now on the S&P 500. Actually, just 1 second chart on anything really, on TradingView, which I find very funny. But we'll probably just look at the 1 minute chart, just for fun, purely just for fun, before I get back to talking about Bitcoin and more of where it could bounce from. Actually, can I be cheeky and talk about it right now? We've got a minute left, so I don't really want to, but yeah, like I said, 36,000 if we fall all the way down to the bottom would be a 20% move up, and then if we manage to move up even higher, like I said, there is not much liquidity in this range between 36,000 right here and 40,000, and so naturally I would expect that this gap is overcome pretty quickly if Bitcoin manages to push through it on a bounce, if we get a bounce. If we don't get a bounce, you guys have already heard my thoughts towards the beginning of this live stream, and if you're late, then just make sure that you replay it, because I don't want to repeat it for those of you who are already here. But yes, you will remember that I'm basically saying I think that we could be looking at a very, very quick drop down. Let's see, we're seeing some coins pumping apparently. Cardano moving up a little bit. Some people in the comments talking about it. Just looks like a little bit, if anything, at best, like a reaction rally, but really nothing too important at all. Let's see what happens here, though. I think this is about to open in a couple seconds if my clock is set correctly. Does it even... Oh, yeah, it did update. Perfect. So let's see. Where's the S&P 500 trading at? It's probably delayed by about 15 seconds, isn't it? Oh, yeah, fucking hell. It has gapped down a lot. So that's a big gap. And let's see what's happening to Bitcoin. Nothing really. It's only dropped by about $100. But that is a big gap. That is a very big gap. What is this in terms of percent? Shit, that's a 1.6% drop. So, for the S&P 500 to gap down by shit, that is huge. That is huge. For the S&P 500 to gap down by this much is a pretty big deal. We're not getting gaps anywhere near this big. The last time we had one was right here, which was actually, funnily, right at a market bottom. Yeah, gaps usually are kind of like this. Here's another big gap, which also happened near a local low. This one is quite large. This is quite a large gap, but it's not affecting Bitcoin immediately. This is probably something which is going to take a little bit longer to reflect on Bitcoin, if at all, because it could be that the gap has already been priced in the crypto market. But yeah, this is going to be a busy day for those of you in the United States. Shout out to you guys. I'm not sure if many of you are even watching this video right now, because it is 9:30 a.m. in New York, to be fair. So LA probably hasn't even woken up yet, West Coast. But yeah, interesting stuff there. So I don't want to watch this too much, but yeah, clearly some opening selling pressure right here. And everyone's congratulating Kristen in the comments. That was the VIP member that paid off the fee inside of 4 days. She's mentioning here, thank you, I highly suggest joining. Thank you very much, Kristen. Thank you for that support right here in the comments. Lives are always better than pre-recorded videos. I agree with you, man. I do agree with you. It's just that they're not good for discoverability on this channel. For some reason, the channel doesn't perform well. Oh, wow, Bitcoin's actually moving up a little bit. It's really not that much, though. I mean, it's only moved up by about $200. But still, it's something. But yeah, live streams don't tend to perform too well, so I generally stay away from them. But I actually like to I like to do them anyway while the market has a lot of volatility, because I know people are panicking and they're probably going to want to hear what I have to say and stuff like that. Oh, we got a couple West Coast fans watching already, so that's pretty cool. So let's, yeah, so we've already covered the possibilities of a reaction rally. Let's take a look at some of the support and resistance, mainly probably resistance, that we can find from indicators at the moment. And we'll take a look back at the S&P 500 shortly. So first of all, I want to ignore this wick. This wick, as far as I know, was only printed on Bitstamp. And I mean, you know, if you get a wick only on one exchange, it's really not that significant in my opinion. You can chalk it up to a bug. It's quite a large resistance zone on the 1 hour Ichimoku cloud, and it's basically saying the same thing. I think if Bitcoin manages to form a reaction rally, we're probably going to have short-term resistance right here. I don't want to be focusing on 1 hour resistance anymore, because I think the market is so overextended to the downside at the moment that I just don't see short-term resistance like this acting on the market too much right when we're so close to major support. You know, one of the things you guys will have heard me talking about a long time ago on this YouTube channel, going back a long time while we were much higher up, is that $40,000 right here was a very, very important support zone for Bitcoin. And the next important support zone that we have, in my opinion, is 30,000. And they're both very, very important. If anything, 30,000 is perhaps even stronger than 40, but they're both very, very strong support levels. And when you consider that we, at least when we came near this price level, had one quick buy back up, which I'm not talking about too much because it is a little bit of a scam wick, but it certainly was also real price action. But then over here as well, from the low to the high, Bitcoin managed to form a meager 10% reaction rally. Better than nothing when you consider how much selling pressure there has been in this market. I do think that $40,000 was an important area of support, and that 30,000 is going to be equally, if not more important than the 40K area was. And for that reason, you know, I don't want to look at short-term resistance anymore, because we're so close to major support that, if anything, I think we're going to break short-term resistance levels relatively soon. I think we've just reached that point. By the way, I see you guys reaching out for VIP right now as I'm live. You've all been responded to, so go ahead and check Telegram if you did want to join 𝗓𝗡𝗡's VIP. Or just, you know, just join our free Telegram channel, where I'm giving you more analysis around the clock, just like this, just like these YouTube videos, just like these live streams. Obviously, I only make a couple of videos a day. I only do one live stream a day, if even that. And so if you want more analysis, more updates around the clock from me, from my team, then it's all happening with the first link in the description down below. Just go ahead and check that out. Moving us back over here though, that's why, like I said, I want to look at some of these larger time frame resistance zones. On the 4 hour time frame, it's showing us that we've got resistance kind of stretching between $37,000 and $40,000. This is an area that can definitely be a little bit more problematic for Bitcoin, but again, like I said, I'm seeing most of this range as being mostly just empty liquidity. So if we do end up moving right back up, I would expect that we're going to only capture resistance here and, pardon me, not below, as long as Bitcoin manages to rise above this red line right here, which is at $36,000. Beyond that, the EMA ribbon. Let's take a look at this. This is going to be a lot closer to the price action right now. We still haven't managed to hit this ribbon, but it's right in my empty gap. I'm not going to pay attention to this right now. I believe that my core analysis before I apply indicators is far stronger than what an indicator can tell me, for the simple reason that I, as a human, can explore nuance better than a bot, better than an algorithm, and better than an indicator. Very, very important note. It's one of the key things that I aim to teach inside of the Forsyth Academy course that you're going to get when you join VIP is, first we get the core analysis done really well. And by the way, if you don't want to learn this from me, there's a million books out there that you can buy for like $10 and they'll teach you similar things. Well, they won't teach it to you in the way I have, but they'll teach you about, how to carry out good core analysis as well. You probably just won't know that it's core analysis. And that, to me, when I say core analysis, I mean just using horizontal levels like I do in all my videos. You've probably noticed that the analysis is extremely straightforward, very, very simple. It's definitely not complex. If you've been around the block, you'll know that this is very, very simple analysis, but that's why it works. And so I'm always going to prioritize that, more core analysis before I look at other analysis. So that's why I'm not going to be paying too much attention to those indicators right now. However, the daily time frame does have some nice EMA resistance that stretches between $41,000 and $45,000. This is quite important. It actually has something to do with some more analysis that I want to show you later on here on Glassnode. I'll show you guys this stuff later on in the live stream, but there was some cool stuff that I wanted to show you right here, and actually I'm teasing myself right now. I just want to take a very quick peek. Let me refresh this. How do I do this? At net holding. It's interesting because as Bitcoin is trading at these very low levels, can you see the edge of my chart? 1 second. I don't know if you can see the full screen here. Yeah, so as Bitcoin is trading at these very, very low price levels, the net holding for Bitcoin, I mean, let's just read this. The net position change shows the monthly position change of long-term investors or hodlers. It indicates when hodlers cash out negative. So basically what we're seeing is that when this histogram moves down, the long-term holders are cashing out, long-term holders. When it moves up, long-term holders are not cashing out. They're holding onto their Bitcoin. We're seeing that that's actually going up the lower we're going. This is very important data, and it's one of the coolest things that you can do with Bitcoin that I personally have not been paying enough attention to over the years. You see, one of the cool things you can do with crypto that, as far as I know, you can't do for any other asset class at all. Maybe real estate, maybe gold, but definitely not as easily as crypto, and not as accurately as crypto, because this stuff can't be manipulated, is that not only can you analyze the price, you can get a gauge for sentiment just by, reading the room essentially, but you can also analyze what's called on-chain metrics. And what that means is, obviously because of the way Bitcoin has been built, because of its, open source and, peer-to-peer nature, where all transactions are visible to all people. It's an open ledger, essentially. You can get a lot of very interesting data. For example, we can look at, Bitcoins that haven't been touched for more than 5 years, what are they doing? We can look at data like that. Because you might initially think that, it's only the long-term holders, the holders that have been in Bitcoin for more than 5 years, that can sit through these drops, and they know when it makes more sense to hold Bitcoin. This is an overview way of looking at the same data. That while Bitcoin is dropping, people that have been holding Bitcoin for a long time are more inclined to hold their Bitcoin now. That tells us something about how the smart money is interacting with this market at the moment, which I think is really, really impressive. Very, very important. So to me, this is very interesting stuff, and I'm going to get back to this later on. There's one particular thing that I wanted to show you, but there's so many. By the way, this whole platform, I forgot what it costed me now, but it was something stupid. It was like $7,000 or $9,000 or something really, really expensive for me to access this data. And I did it just for you guys on YouTube. So if that doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what does. Throw on a like on this live stream if you are enjoying it so far, ladies and gents. I will get back to this later on. I just need to try and remember exactly what I wanted to show you guys with this. This one's interesting as well. You can see what addresses that hold more than 100,000 Bitcoins, for example, are doing. Right here, the total circulating supply held by entities with balances of at least 100,000 coins, 100,000 Bitcoins. And you can see right now that's going up. At the top, this is so interesting. This data is so interesting. I'm just getting off track right now, but this is amazing, right? So let me just clarify what I'm looking at here for those of you who don't understand this. When we say entities, we mean like institutions, hedge funds, whatever, people that control a lot of money and trade it and hold it and whatever, custodians. We're seeing that the amount of addresses that hold at least 100,000 coins, basically, how that's changed over time. So when Bitcoin originally, earlier in summer last year, fell down to, $30,000, $29,000 when it had its fake out, just so you know, by the way, where we're looking at on the chart. This right here is this right here. That's where we are. We can see that as Bitcoin was rising up, a lot of people didn't really believe in this rally. A lot of people that held at least 100,000, a lot of entities that held at least 100,000 coins, i.e. very, very smart, very, very, very rich people, very rich entities, didn't really believe in the rally. And let me just push this to the side. Can you still see the whole chart? Yes, you can. Let me just take my camera off because it's obstructing a lot of this chart. We can see that, yeah, when this thing initially peaked at 60K and started slowing down, we saw, a lot of, we saw basically a low where, a lot of these entities didn't really want to hold Bitcoin as much as they were holding it before, indicating that they were taking profits. And we're seeing a very nice steady rise now. This rise is not being impacted by the drop. Take note of that. The entities that hold very large sums of Bitcoin are not being shaken out by this drop right now. They do get shaken out, right? Like here's an example where they did get shaken out. Right here, when Bitcoin managed to rally up to, what was this, about $35,000 and then drop down to about $33,000, which isn't a huge drop, to be honest. This shook out a lot of the larger entities that were holding a lot of Bitcoin. So it's not like they're geniuses. We got to make this point very, very clear. A lot of the entities that were holding a lot of Bitcoin here, they got shaken out on this move. They're not geniuses. They're not perfect. But it's very clear to see that generally they get this stuff right. Let's take an even broader zoomed out look at this. See, there was 4,100,000 addresses, if I'm reading this correctly, that were holding, that doesn't even make sense, that were holding a lot of Bitcoin. And we can see that, and that was at the drop. So it's very interesting. You can see that this buying pressure actually peaks right after the coronavirus market crash. And you can see that it's gradually dropping and dropping and dropping, and it really falls off a cliff. This is where it really intensifies, is when, and this is where I'm showing you, like, they're not always right. They're not always right. This is an example of actually being quite stupid, in my opinion. Selling off a lot of their Bitcoin. Even I wasn't doing stuff like this. I knew that Bitcoin would keep rallying up. In fact, I only started selling Bitcoin to buy my house up here in the high 50K range. Actually, that's not even the high 50K range. It was more like around over here where I was selling my Bitcoin, because it was around March, April where I bought the house for my mother out here in Dubai. And this is where these larger entities were actually screwing up. But then they started to understand their mistake, and this is where everyone got fucked in the market, because we all thought Bitcoin was consolidating at 60K before making its next leg up. So I'm just trying to show you, one of the key things that I aim to do with, what I teach and what I show on this channel is that, I want to present to you different tools that exist. And you'll see this all throughout the 4Flies Academy course, all throughout being in 4Flies VIP would have 50% off discount. You already know how to join. It's the first link in the description down below. One of the things that I aim to do a lot is show you these tools and show you why they might be useful, but then immediately show you why they're not foolproof. A lot of the time when you learn how to trade from people who are either irresponsible or not knowledgeable, and both of these are very, very bad. There is no excuse. If you're irresponsible, that's terrible, and if you're not knowledgeable, you shouldn't be teaching it. A lot of people don't know if they're not knowledgeable, by the way, just for the record. So I'm not trying to say that they're being, malicious. They're just idiots. They will often teach you things like how the RSI works, for example, but they won't show you why it's total bullshit. And that's where a lot of people get it wrong as teachers. That's where a lot of books get it wrong as well. I, obviously, as somebody who consumed that material, was very frustrated by it. And so I wanted something better. And that's why I went out and made it on my own. Very, very important note, in my opinion, for where my perspective comes from. with how I've built up what I built up. It's a side note, it's a bit of a tangent, but that's why I wanted to show you with this very data right here why it may not be as reliable as it first appears. And I do think that that is a very important discussion to be had. So that's why I wanted to bring this up with you guys. But again, my point over here is quite clear that we are seeing these larger entities really, being quite okay with holding a lot of Bitcoin. This may continue to rise even if Bitcoin is falling. The bottom line is this is showing us that people are fine, large entities that hold a lot of Bitcoin are fine with doing so, and that they're also potentially even buying, because there's no way that, their wallet supply is going up if they're not buying. So that's important data to keep note of as well. Very, very interesting stuff. Huge tangent on Glassnode. This is an amazing website. I need to get sponsored by them because I'm saying too many nice things without actually receiving any payment for it. And as a YouTuber, that is a sin. I'm sorry, that's just how we work. Telling it to you guys straight. There's so many things here. I honestly feel like a kid in a candy shop when I look at this stuff right now. This one's interesting. Take a look at this. This is percent of addresses in a profit. And you're going to see that this is going to be quite low at the moment. This actually just broadly follows price action. This is not actually that interesting, to be fair. But yeah, there's so many cool metrics that you can analyze. Let's just move back to the chart though. We'll get to that stuff again in a little while. I want to start going through your questions in just a minute. So if you do have questions for me in this live stream, please do me a favor and start dropping them now in the comment section. And you already know the deal. If you have a question for me, make sure that you write my name at @SammyLoyal-4fly. So it's going to autofill. Just hit enter. If you don't do that, I won't see your comment. And if I won't see your comment, I can't answer it. So if you want me to answer your question, if you want me to look at certain charts for you and so on, let me know. And I will definitely do that inside of this live stream right now while I'm here. I also, just while I'm doing this, waiting for your questions to come in, I also want to take a quick look at altcoins. Ethereum, as predicted, getting a really, really big smackdown right now. It doesn't have any support until the high $1,000 range, in my opinion. And so, yeah, I can't really expect anything different here. This is the problem where, Bitcoin has a 7% range to drop between its, resistance level here and support level here. Ethereum has a 30% drop to be had. So not good, not good. It's weak. It's in a weak place, and it's only in a weak place because it had such a stellar rise up, and naturally we have to pay for that. A lot of people just don't like accepting ideas like this, but that ain't going to change the facts, ladies and gents. That's not going to change the facts. If you don't like a certain idea, you can bloody well choose to ignore it, and you can have fun staying poor while you do, because it ain't going to change the facts. And a lot of people, I'm sorry, but you need to hear it in a harsh tone like that. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Smash up the likes if you appreciate the fact that I'm keeping it real with you guys every single day. No fear. I'm lucky. I stopped being worried about what people think of me a long time ago. It's a blessing of being a YouTuber since I was 8 years old. Just stopped caring about what people think, really. And that's why I'm here delivering this content to you in the way it is right now. Throw up a like for me, subscribe for me right here on this channel if you think that's cool and you want to keep on watching content like this. Someone's asking me, do I speak Arabic? No, but I can read it. I can also read Russian, but I also can't speak Russian beyond basic words. Russian is a really cool language. What do I think of Matic? Let's go ahead and take a look at Matic. I had a few suggestions for Matic lately. I gave you guys some quite comprehensive analysis on why Matic was so dangerous a long time ago, and Matic kept running up briefly and everyone was laughing at me. And I wanna ask you who's laughing now, but in reality I'm not that much of a cunt, so I won't be laughing at you guys. But just know that 4fly's warned you about this, how coins like this can drop really quickly when we're in a bear market. At least it's a small, sell-off downtrend. And yeah, we're seeing that right here. It's halved inside of 30 days. For reference, Bitcoin inside of 30 days, I'm guessing 30 days was roughly around here, has dropped by about 35%. So big difference, big difference. Matic, a typical shitcoin. Oh yeah, I said it. A fucking typical shitcoin. Yep. Let it settle in a little bit. I'm insulting your shitcoin, yes. If you're offended, fuck off. Don't want you here. And I encourage you to perceive this as offensively as you possibly can. Rub your butt a little bit and fuck off. Your typical shitcoins crashing down, dropping like a stone. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Let's talk about where it might find support. It obviously had a major area of support right here. I'm sorry guys, I love ripping altcoin holders. I do. I love it because they get the biggest heads and they need to be humbled. And yeah, the market's humbling them too, but I'm here to rub it in a little bit more. Not too much, like I said. I know my limits, but it's all part of the fun and games of this YouTube channel. I like to be a little bit of a savage. You guys know the deal. Your boy came from the streets, so I'm bringing that back to the YouTube channel. We had some resistance right here and support between $1.46 and $1.72. Big support, actually. This support area from the low to its all-time high managed to give Matic a 41-day double. It doubled in 41 days. Very, very impressive. We've now just lost that support. So God forbid we come back up to test this area as resistance right now. The last time we tested this area as resistance comprehensively, Matic got, hang on, what was this? A 40% rejection. When it was trading inside the box, because it did fake out a little bit, it got a 23% rejection. So obviously it's in quite a bearish trend. It does have reaction rallies. This was quite a nice substantial reaction rally right here. Let's measure it from the low to the high. A 30% reaction rally that happened inside of only a few days. Let's take a look at this. Only inside of 4 days, we got a 28% reaction rally. So we definitely can start punching up relatively soon. If Bitcoin gets a reaction rally, this would probably explode upwards pretty nicely. But for now, yeah, it's in a pretty bearish place, and this is a key level to look at. I'm not seeing any significant support on this chart until probably around here, between $1, $1.02 roughly. Let's just call it $1 and $1.20. So next support that I'm seeing is going to be right here. If we lose this range, it's going to be a very quick drop down to 74 cents, just in my opinion, from what I'm seeing in these charts right now on this live stream. Smash up the likes if you appreciate this realistic analysis. If you like a little bit of Savage Sammy creeping back in while I talk about the resident shit coins of the market. Yeah, pretty big empty liquidity range here, really. Matic doesn't spend a lot of time in this price range, zipping straight up, zipping straight down, and straight back up in the same day. Fake out right here, and then all the way down and all the way up. Matic just doesn't consolidate in this range, and so if it drops below this red line at $1, I cannot expect any support until 74 cents, and you better hope, Matic shitcoin holders, you better hope that this support level saves it, because if it doesn't, there is no more support until 45 cents right here. So, yeah, not looking good. This is the price you pay when you buy a shitcoin that's pumping through the roof during a euphoric rally. You know, I even had a close friend of mine who I love dearly tell me that he saw my Matic video where I was warning of this drop. And sure, I was early, right? I mean, when did I say it? It was probably like around over here where I made the video. And fuck me, I was 8 days early. Oops. You know, like, I was early to say it. But this person's saying, you know what? I watched your video, but I'm still going to hold on to Matic. Sure you will, mate. Like, it's a euphoric rally. Of course you will. But you either learn these lessons by watching a channel like 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 getting around the lessons though. You're not getting around them. You can learn them 8 days early from 4Flies, get it in the correct way, jump inside of VIP, 50% off. You guys already know the deal. You can learn these lessons before you lose the money, or you can be broke and learn your lessons when it doesn't matter anymore. You got those two options. It ain't gonna happen any other way. Very, very important things to note over here. You know, I'm happy to buy this coin. I think like this is a good support range. If it drops down here, that would probably be like Bitcoin's 30k range. But this is important stuff that needs to be explored right here on this YouTube channel. You know, a lot of people, you're only learning your lessons now. What a fucking shame. Seriously, like, it's turned into 𝗪𝗔𝗡𝗜𝗔𝗟 now. Fuck it, we're going off. How far am I in this live stream? 55 minutes. Yeah, we're 1 hour in. Let's dial up the heat a little bit. if you're only learning these lessons now, here's the thing, is that you may not have sold Matic if you're still holding on to it now. Perhaps you sold it on this big drop down here, but you would have been able to protect yourself from so much more of these losses if you had already learned this stuff. Now that we're down over here, you're being moved back all the way to where we were in October, and that would be fine if you weren't also losing Bitcoin, but you are. And so you're becoming poorer as a crypto holder as well. Look at how Matic has lost value against Bitcoin. You could have cashed out over here. You could have cashed out on the rally up, but you didn't. You didn't, and you've lost so much of your Bitcoin buying power right here. And there's no support on this chart. You can wait and hope for a little bit of a bounce back up for a better exit, but there's no support on this chart until 3,300 Satoshis, and we're at 4,000 right now. That is a further 30% drop. This is the problem. This is the price you have to pay. It's not a small price. People don't want to pay attention to this stuff when the market is sunny and when everyone's making money. But again, if you don't pay attention to it at the right times, you're going to be forced to pay attention to it when it's really, really uncomfortable and you've already lost your chance. That's why it's so important to have a long-term strategy in this market, because whether you like it or not, the market is going to go wrong. It is going to go in the direction you don't want it to go in, and you can either be totally fucked because of it, or you can be prepared for it before it even happens. Push your capital in the right places slowly with a good strategy, protect yourself from these things, and then, not have to worry about big drops like this. Because if you're losing Bitcoin right now, man, you're losing twice. Like, you're losing against the dollar, sure, whatever. Bitcoin's probably going to recover. We all know this. You're losing your Bitcoin though? Shit. That's not good. That is not good. That is bad. If you're losing your Bitcoin as well. And the thing is like Bitcoin managed to reach brand new all-time highs, right? Bitcoin managed to reach brand new all-time highs. Matic didn't against Bitcoin. Matic set its all-time high against Bitcoin right here at 6,560 roughly Satoshis, 6,600 Satoshis. It didn't even manage to get that high up when Bitcoin surpassed its previous all-time high. So that's why I don't like to hold coins like this. Unless I think that they can make me more Bitcoin, which obviously it's not doing right now, they're so dangerous. They're so dangerous. I'm not saying don't trade them. Do whatever the fuck you like. I mean, I trade shit coins as well, right? I'm holding CHSB. I don't think it's a shit coin, but I'm holding CHSB because I'm expecting it to outperform Bitcoin. One of my favorite things about CHSB, by the way, is that it's functioning like a stable coin right now, which is very, very impressive. I bought VPAD because I thought it would outperform Bitcoin. It did. I bought CWeb because I thought it would outperform Bitcoin. It's doing really badly, to be fair. That one went wrong. Other coins that I'm willing to buy, even like Phantom and so on, Solana, when they drop down to good support levels, I will do it because I think that they're going to outperform Bitcoin. But what I won't do is hold on to them with pipe dreams just because everyone else is euphoric. You guys know the deal. If you were watching the channel back when we were at our literal all-time highs, I was warning you guys about the weakness up here, right? I'm not buying into this bullshit. I don't. I've been around in these markets for too long. I've lost too much money by buying into this bullshit. So I can sense it out now. It's very, very clear when it's happening. And that's why I was warning you guys about those potential issues in the market before anyone even seriously wanted to consider these things. Mentioning how Bitcoin has consistently been failing to set realistically new all-time highs. We've only been a couple percentage points higher than the previous all-time high every time we set a new one, indicating that this market was running out of strength. These are things which you can choose to pay attention to at the top, and you're going to be well protected if you do, or you can choose to pay attention to them now when you've already lost half your money. This is the important stuff that people don't like talking about. If you're just scrolling Twitter, if you're still scrolling Instagram, God forbid TikTok, you're in your Telegram shitty group chats where everyone else is sticking their finger up their nose talking about Cardano going back to $3 and stuff like that. You're not going to hear ideas like this. You're just not. People who are discussing ideas like this don't say it out loud. They don't, because they will be insulted, they will be berated, they will be hated if they say stuff like this. And so, a few of these people might say it again. And I've seen it all over Twitter and stuff. There's always the smaller accounts generally that say stuff like this because, they don't have an audience to tell them to fuck off when they say something that the audience doesn't like. And then they'll start doing it and they'll gain a little bit of traction. And then people start being very rude to them and then they stop. You don't hear opinions like this. And I think that's why it's so important. You don't want to be siding with the masses, is my point. So those are my thoughts on Matic. It actually turned into a rant. Let me give you guys the analysis again calmly, because I'm sorry, I'm just so passionate about this stuff. Like, because the thing is like losing money sucks so hard in these markets. I've been there. I've lost all my money multiple times, and I've learned from that the only sustainable strategy is to protect yourself from that and do everything else afterwards. The first priority is always to protect your money. If you screw that up, you have nothing to do. You have no leverage to use. Very, very important. So anyway, like I said, support in the low $1 range, potentially finding support here, finding resistance in this range would be phenomenal. You know, potentially getting smacked right back down. Gotta hope that $1 support holds, if not 74 cents, but this is not a good support area in my opinion, and so I don't want to pay too much attention to it. I also very quickly want to take a quick look at where it's got some Fibonacci support, because this could be very useful. Let me just pull up a chart that's got a little bit more price history though. Let's use this chart. Nope. Is there any chart other than the Binance chart that has a lot of price history? Go for, I think I already looked at KuCoin, didn't I? I suppose I could go for KuCoin. I don't want to though. No, I don't. I'm just gonna do it on the Binance chart. So let's just take a look at this on the Binance chart. Let me just remove all of these lines. I can just press undo later on. Draw Fibonacci from here up to the top. We're at the 618 level right now. Or we're nearly there. So a little bit of a drop down now, about a $10 drop. What is that, like, I don't know, 8% drop. We're going to be at the 618 retracement. This is a very, very strong retracement level, so that is definitely looking good. The 382 level was respected very well at $1.90. So this is all stuff that could go very, very well for Matic. If it does end up finding support here, you know, potentially a little bit of resistance here would make sense as well at the 382 level. So that would be pretty nice. Let me again throw another Fibonacci on, but from this level this time, and let's take a look at this. So we've already lost our 618 support on this line, on this Fibonacci. We've got 786 support down at $1.20, which is exactly the top of the resistance box. I'm sorry, the support box that I had drawn for you guys a couple minutes ago. So very cool to see how this lines up with that analysis pretty accurately. You can actually see it if I just leave this red line here and then bring the chart back to how it was drawn before. Bam, same $1.20 area with that Fibonacci support. So that is pretty cool. Yeah, I think that what that's showing me is just anywhere $10 lower from here down to $1 is a support zone for spot buys. This range makes sense, at least for a relief rally, if not for a total reversal of the trend. I suppose the good news with coins like this and Ethereum and to some extent even Bitcoin is that if they do start rallying again, you know, there's not a lot of resistance on the chart. If it breaks the $1.72 level, for example, there shouldn't be much standing between Matic and its all-time high at $2.90. So, you know, that will that should enable it to rise up pretty quickly. For example, you know, so that is one of the things that, you know, these coins have going for them, is because there's such low liquidity and it's just so irrational. It doesn't really have a chance to establish much real resistance. You know, I mean, we might definitely get some pullbacks and so on, but broadly speaking, it can rally up really quickly. So this applies to every single other altcoin, by the way. You know, that's actually in a trend. Generally, they can move up really, really nicely. So that's a cool thing to take note of as well. So there we go. That is your Matic question answered right there. Smash up the likes if you're finding this live stream useful, by the way. Do appreciate all you guys showing your support right here on this live stream. We've got a little bit of talk about the dollar index. Let's see what else we have going on here in the comments. Love the Savage Sammy. Amen, Savage Sammy. You guys know it. You guys know it. Lesson learned, don't marry coins. You got it, Jay. Bang on. That is exactly the point. That is exactly the point. See what else we got here in the comments. I'm just going to go through these questions in order that I received them, because I really don't want to miss any questions. And I think as soon as I've done that, I'll probably head off. Can I check out Cardano? Let's take a look at Cardano and see where that is. I do need to take this jacket off now. This is getting a bit ridiculous. Although I made it 1 hour and 5 minutes into the stream. So that's good enough for me. Let me take a quick peek at Cardano. Actually, I've already done this, so I don't really need to do it now, because I've already talked quite extensively about what I think Cardano could be doing. But just, I suppose, very quickly, you know, it has a little bit of a support. Sorry, yeah, well, is it support or resistance? It's hard to say right now, but yeah, it has an important range right here, and we're just below it at the moment, so this can turn into resistance. Actually went short here, made a 30% profit. You guys already know the deal. Just for those of you tuning in right now, just want to make you guys very, very well aware of our massive discount that we're running inside of VIP right now. It is 50% off right now as I speak. We haven't run a sale like this for a very, very long time, so if you do want to jump inside, then you can do so by following these steps on screen right here. The first link is going to take you to our free 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 channel, and then you can press my name at the bottom of any post inside of 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. This is where I give you more free analysis in the markets, more updates on my live streams and so on, and then press send message to ask me how to join. This whole process from start to finish, these 3 quick clicks, will take you, less than 30 seconds. They're very, very quick, and we'll send you the information for VIP very quickly as well. So my assistants are online right now. Everybody, every single person that's inquired has already had a response by now. So you can, and usually, I mean, it's happening within like a minute or 2 because they're online at the moment. So you can get your information. We can enroll you just during this live stream even. If you want some free cash, you already know the deal. Bybit's linked in the description down below. You can get $4,100 for free when you sign up using Bybit. Off memory, there's only a few days left for this offer. So if you haven't used it yet, you're about to run out of time where you are, yeah, basically getting free money for signing up to the exchange that I love to use. It's not even like a bad exchange. It's one of the best in the world. In my opinion, the single best exchange for crypto trading. You know, and obviously I've used pretty much all of them. So I am quite happy with these guys. Been working with them for years as well. Check it out if you do like getting free money. Obviously, that's always very, very fun. Let's move us back to the Cardano chart. The problem with Cardano right here is that if it doesn't manage to recover back up above the dollar range, it has an even bigger problem than Matic. Matic, if it drops below $1, has supported about 74 cents, if you remember from a few minutes ago. Cardano, at best, this could be a support range stretching down to about 80 cents, but I'm not convinced by that. I'm not convinced by that whatsoever. So, and even on the rally that it had previously in 2017, 2018, look, it just shoots all the way up and shoots all the way down. Even on this chart, there's no significant level for Cardano until 39 cents. Cardano has just moved up so quickly. So if it does manage to lose this area of support, it has a very, very long way to drop. I'm not saying that it's going to drop all the way down to 40 cents because that would be pretty heinous. That would actually be quite surprising if it dropped down that hard. I do think Cardano, like everything else, is a shitcoin, of course, but it's not that bad, in my opinion. However, the point is it can still drop catastrophically low very, very quickly because there is no technical support on this chart. So please keep that in mind if you're holding Cardano and trading it. This range can be very, very dangerous, and you ought to keep that in mind as we're moving forward in this market right now. That, I think, is something which is going to catch a lot of people off guard. Let's take a look at some of the other altcoins that you guys wanted me to look at as well inside of this live stream. We've done Matic, we've done Cardano. What about Solana and Shiba? Let's start with Shiba. Shiba is going to be fun. I actually want to make a dedicated video on Shiba, so just subscribe to the channel if you want that analysis. I'm not going to talk about it too much right now. Basically, see how I was saying Cardano doesn't have any support between $1 and 40 cents? Shiba is basically in the middle of, let's say this is 40 cents and this is $1. Shiba is in the middle of it right now. It's in free fall mode right now. There's no analysis I can give you on this chart. It absolutely looks like it must continue dropping lower, but it's not. It's slowing down, probably because it's just been such a ridiculous drop already, but I don't think that that means this thing is going to reverse back up. I mean, if it did, cool, but it's a bad chart right now. It is a really bad chart right now. So that's all I can say about Shiba. Take a look at Solana, though. Solana is probably a little bit more interesting. It's moving in exactly the way that we predicted on this YouTube channel. I was telling you guys that if we lose $130 on this chart, it's probably going to drop all the way down to either this area right here, which you can't see. Hang on, let me move the chart. it's probably going to drop either to this area right here at about 75 cents, or more likely down to this area between 40 and 50 cents. And should be drawn like this. And so we're pretty much right in the middle of that drop. We've actually already done about half of that drop. I was saying this is about a 65% drop. It's already down by about 35%. So we're a little bit more than halfway through the drop that I was forecasting for Solana if we manage to lose this resistance range. 𝗧𝗡ly is once again coming in clutch. This was the trade, by the way, that our VIP member in the comment section today was able to pay off her fee of entry with. She actually made this trade where she shorted Solana and paid off our VIP fee within 4 days of joining. Really very, very impressive result right there. This is the testimonial. This person joined January 18, so about 6 days ago, and then 2 days ago paid off the whole fee for joining. And I love this. I love this comment, this message so much, because again, she mentions, I'm a girl, but I've got bigger balls than most of these pansy men. Again, very, very impressive. Obviously, I had to hit back with a voice note congratulating her and giving her some helpful words, to follow on from there. So if you do want to jump inside, again, just take a look at some of the crazy results we've seen. This person made his first ever trade after joining 𝗧𝗡ly's VIP and was sitting in over a 300% profit. Again, I got to make clear, this is not typical. This does not happen all the time, but this person making very, very cool profits nonetheless. Again, super, super impressive stuff right here. This person 8x on his portfolio in a week after joining VIP, which is insane. I have no idea how you can do that, but he did it, so that's cool. Again, this guy within 8 hours paying off his fee of entry. Loads of cool stuff. You can just pause the live stream and read these testimonials. I think we also threw some more inside of 𝗧𝗡ly's gold. So again, these are the steps to join. Let's see what else we've got here in the comments. Can I take a look at Atom? I've never looked at Atom, so no, I don't want to look at that. XRP, there's no real analysis I can give you on XRP. I'll take a look at Luna. I've also never really looked at Luna, but since Kristen, our prized VIP member of the hour, wants me to look at it, I must do so. So let's take a look at Luna. So it peaked at $103. It's now down 40% at $60 within about a month. The only thing I can really do here is throw a Fibonacci retracement on this chart. Support at $43, support at 66, which it's just lost, and actually potentially confirming as resistance. Now, there's no real analysis I can give you here. I mean, the best I can do is extend, I should say even just draw support levels. I suppose, there's a pretty clear support area right here between $47 and $55. But this chart, a lot like Ethereum, Cardano, and so on, didn't really establish much resistance on the way up. It was just taking straight moves up. It was moving up quickly. And when it wasn't moving up quickly, it was moving up but slowly. And then it was moving up quickly again. It had a pullback here, which is one of the reasons that this $50 roughly area is important. And then it just moved up quickly again. And because it's had such an aggressive rise up, there isn't much support that we can expect on the way back down. Same problem. This is why these shit coins perform so badly when markets turn bearish. There's so much speculation, usually for nothing, only because the person behind you and in front of you wants to get rich. They don't actually have any real reasons beyond that to buy the coin. And so as soon as that reason to buy the coin is gone, they're not interested anymore. I love to give you guys the analogy because it's funny. And again, I mean, you guys know the deal. If you're about to get offended by this, you know exactly what to do with the exit button on your browser. Just give it a little tap. And I love this analogy again because it's so funny and it's so accurate to crypto. This is like, buying a coin like this is like going to the club and getting really drunk as a guy, and you've got low standards because you just want to get laid, and so there's this fat girl you're seeing at the club and she's not actually very attractive, but you're drunk, and so she looks like a 7 and that's good enough, and you take her back and you do what you want to do. You buy the coin, and then the next morning you wake up, you sober up, you realize you're a complete fucking idiot. In this case, you only realize that when, in this case, you're sober, which for crypto means when it's dropping, and you realize you had absolutely no interest in the coin or the girl at the beginning, so you'd leave her very, very quickly. You, in this case, panic sell. That's exactly what's happening in the market across the board. And I'm saying shit coins all the time, but I want to be clear, this is exactly why Bitcoin is dropping really hard as well. My savagery does not stop at shit coins. My savagery will continue and live on for Bitcoin itself, because the fact is, I'm an honest cunt about this. You know, like, Bitcoin ain't going to change my opinion on this. I love Bitcoin to bits. You guys already know the deal. I'm extremely bullish on it long term. I hold way more Bitcoin than anything else at all. I hold more Bitcoin than my house is worth. You know, like, I'm quite stupid about it. I wouldn't say stupid, I'm just very bullish generally. But the fact of the matter is, Bitcoin would not be experiencing such a heinous drop right now if what I said about this drunk girl at the club wasn't true on the way back up. You know, people just don't want Bitcoin unless it can make them money. As soon as they realize it can't make them money, you know, they don't want it anymore. They're not interested. It is the same thing. Only interested while you can use it. As soon as you can't, it gets discarded. Very, very important note, in my opinion. Only YouTuber that's real from Sebastian. You already know it, mate. You already know it. Leon smashing up the likes. Thank you very much. We're so close to 1,000 likes. So do me a favor and smash them up if you haven't done so already. Make a bot to keep liking it. That sounds like it's against the YouTube terms and conditions, mate. How much possibility do I think for Bitcoin to drop back down to 20k? I don't know. I think that if we drop below $30,000 here, the possibility is extremely high, maybe like 80-90%. At the moment, I don't know, because it depends on what is the possibility that we break this level. And if we break this level, you know, whatever that, let's say this is a 60% possibility, then I think it's an 80% possibility that we drop down to 20, or at least nearby to 22, something like that. I would first need to know the possibility of breaking this, and I don't know that. I mean, it's probably pretty low, at least on its first attempt. I mean, I don't think we're gonna break it. If we hit this level anytime soon, I don't think we're gonna break it straight away. So, pretty low overall at the moment, but that can jump up really high if you know, let's say if Bitcoin does find support here and then finds resistance here, and then, you know, it starts trading in a bit of a bear flag, then actually the possibility of breaking this zone will become very high. So naturally, the possibility of reaching about 20k will also probably become very, very high. Someone is asking, Forflies, do we get access to the full training course with a quarterly subscription? Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. And just speak to my team as well if you want to get that upgraded to our advanced course as well. We can give you an even better tailored plan for you. So if you are interested in our quarterly offer, for example, yeah, you will you'll have some doors to get even our advanced academy course. That course is $2,700. We can give it to you for a much more discounted rate, give you some more time in VIP as well for a very, very discounted rate. So yeah, that's and yearly members just automatically get our advanced academy course completely free of charge. So again, if you want to gain access to it, all the steps are right here with our beautiful, magnificent 50% off discount. Let's see what else we got here. I'm just going to leave this on screen for another minute. Why don't I mention the 200 EMA? I don't really look at it. What do I think about a bounce of 24k? I've already covered this. I don't think there's much liquidity in that range. Lolmatic is not a shitcoin. They're all shitcoins though. That's the problem, isn't it? If it's not Bitcoin, it's automatically a shitcoin. I'm sorry to break it to you. They're all shitcoins. Every single last one of them. What about USA inflation? This one's important. How to expect market growth when inflation is 10%. I don't know about that right now, but I do know that the US dollar is performing pretty well. It actually looks like... So here's the thing. Here's one of the things I wanted to cover with you. I'm very glad you brought this up. I had this resistance line drawn for the dollar quite a long time ago, and the dollar is about to hit this area again. Now, if the dollar finds resistance here, that would perfectly pave the way for Bitcoin to pump up massively again, in my opinion. Doesn't mean it will, but if the dollar does get a drop from right here, about, let's say, 96.2 down to about 95.6, which is a big drop for the dollar, I think we would be looking at a big reaction rally for Bitcoin, at least a few $1,000s, at least to 36k, maybe even to 40k. However, if it manages to break this resistance, there isn't a lot more resistance that I can see in the immediate term for the dollar. It could shoot up. And if it does, that is going to spell a lot of bad news for Bitcoin, for the S&P 500. Somebody else was asking me for my opinion on that. Look at that. Wow. Wow, look at that. If you were with me in this live stream since the beginning, you're going to remember I was saying, I think we might gap down. Very aggressive sell pressure. Yeah, it's in a bad, bad state. Support, for those of you who are wondering where I think it is. Good support, I think, on this chart is way down, around over here. Between 3,300 and 3,600. Probably around the lower end of that. Pretty big drop to go. If the S&P 500 drops down this low, that is enough to knock Bitcoin even below 20k. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but just judging by the way the S&P 500 has been moving already, if it drops down that much, this would be a massive, massive drop. And it would probably hurt Bitcoin a lot, which is moderately worrying, I must say. See what else we have here in the comments. Do I trade Bitcoin or Bitcoin USDT on Bybit, and why? I trade Bitcoin derivatives on Bybit, so it's just Bitcoin USD. How much of this crash is due to the Fed tapering? Almost all of it, in my opinion. Savage Sammy getting real. One person said I need to be respectful to my viewers, so I'm out. I get you, Daniel. I mean, you're probably already gone now. I totally get you, but again, I mean, this channel isn't just a super professional guy in a suit telling you what I think is going to happen. I've got a little bit of personality in me. Fuck me, I'm a young guy. I've got a little bit of energy in me, got some youth in me. Best believe I'm going to be showing it on this channel. I've been just wearing a furry jacket for the past hour. Like, I'm not really a normal analyst on YouTube, am I? That's just something you gotta like or put up with. For now, maybe I mature as I grow up. Mac entered the live stream, mentioned that he got late due to a meeting at work. No problem, mate. Go ahead and rewind the live stream if you missed the beginning. Let's see what else we got here in the comments. Someone's asking me to add a compressor on my vocal audio. It will not go loud and then silent. My voice will maintain the same. I think I already have a compressor. I'm wondering if I can do that live. That would probably be a big mistake. No, I don't have a compressor. My bad. Let me add a compressor right now with default settings. And DJ Ferry, please comment again. The compressor is on now. Please comment again if this has fixed the problem. See what else we have here in the comments. Probably going to be heading off relatively soon, so if you got any final questions, please let me know now. Good morning, good to finally get you in a live video. Good morning to you too, Marvin. Could I look at Litecoin? Ah, man, I don't really want to. I don't really want to, but let's go ahead. Let's give it a cheeky peek. See what's going on with Litecoin. I have to get going very soon though, guys. Friend of mine, actually, he is somebody who works with me on my team, has just turned 21 today. I have a very young team. I'm actually the youngest person on my team, which is weird. I think I'm the youngest person. Yeah, I probably am. And so we've a very, very young team. And we do amazingly because of that, I think. Although the new boss that I've hired, like the new CEO, is amazing. And he is not as young as I am. And that is, I think, bringing a nice balance to the business, making us a lot more professional. You probably noticed it if you use our products and so on. Litecoin, yeah. I mean, it's just a depressing chart. I don't even want to look at it. I don't even want to say anything about it. I had really high hopes for Litecoin, and it let me down again. What do I think about Lord Token Exchange? That sounds like total shit. What do I think of inverse Bitcoin leveraged ETPs in a bet? I have no idea what that means. I'm sorry, man. Why didn't I know about you 3 months ago? Man, the amount of times I've heard that. You know about me now, though. So yeah, make it count now. Someone's asking me, do I live in the bush? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We've got a beautiful, beautiful view. You guys know I love showing it off. This isn't even the main part of the view. Like the main view is actually like more in that direction, but that's the living room. And so I didn't actually set up my office there. What else have we got in the comments? Probably will have to get going now. I'm running it pretty close. I'm going to be late. So yeah, that person, he's just turned 21, and it's a surprise birthday party. And hopefully he's not watching this stream, because I would have ruined it. But I don't think he is. He's probably out somewhere else right now. So that's going to be cool. What do I think about masks and vaccines? Look, I mean, I've always been a believer in free choice and freedom, and the pandemic exposed that to me much more. So, I'm remembering a quote. Someone was asking, would you rather have safety or freedom? And when I was younger, the answer was safety. But then when I saw what governments do with taking away freedoms, I actually changed my mind and decided that the answer for me is freedom. I would rather have freedom. And that is my it's not saying I don't agree with the vaccines and stuff. I mean, you know, obviously good for people who want them and stuff like that. But I am a student of history, and I read a lot of history books, and that is my approach. Do I have an emergency parachute? No. They don't give you parachutes here. Someone saying freedom, dangerous freedom every time. Yeah, that's one of the things I like about like old school, more like traditional United States ideologies. You know, like it's very much about like, I can handle myself, leave me the fuck alone. I like that. I really like that. I respect it a lot. Again, the more I grew up, the more I realized that that is pretty powerful. Yeah, someone's saying Bitcoin's moving up a little bit right now. Let's take a look at this. I mean, it's really not that much. It's, yeah, I don't want to analyze this too much, but I guess what I can say for now is that this is a resistance range. It doesn't mean that we can't penetrate it, but I mean, you know, don't be surprised if we do find resistance anywhere below 36k. There's a little bit of volume here, which is nice. I don't know. I think if we do get a big reaction rally, a huge pump to the upside, it's probably not going to be obvious immediately when it happens. We got Anthony Russo in the chat. That's funny. I love the song California from Anthony Russo. Alright guys, yeah, I will probably be heading off here. Let me know if there's any final questions that you have for me in the XRP will free us all. My god. Okay, no, on that note, I'm leaving. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. You guys know what to do. This dude just comment XRP will free us all. I know that's a joke, but that's me done for the day. I don't need more internet. I'm out. If you guys have enjoyed this one, you know what to do. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick that bell. You know what to do, all that good stuff. You got 4.1k waiting for you on Bybit. You got 50% off discount waiting for you with VIP. Get ready to change trading up, really level up a couple notches. If that's what you want, then it's right here on the screen for you at the moment. And I'll see you all in the very next video. A lot of cool stuff coming, so make sure you are subscribed. Alright guys, take it easy. Love you all. Bye bye.